I wish well, actually I can look at it there just a moment. I've got time to do laundry. Okay. I wish I could add comments myself, because I already have something I want to comment on. Just kidding. Alright, I have to reconnect. That Bluetooth, I don't know why that's the first suggestion. Oh, before I forget, one thing I do want to do, and I hope I haven't squished it with all the stuff I got today, which isn't a ton, but is, I have part of a sandwich to put away. Well, at least I'd have music to listen to, which wouldn't necessarily be copyright. Oh, we have a viewer. Welcome. So you can see the title. The only one that only thing that I didn't mention in it that I might include is, and they left. They're like, I don't care. There's too many things there. But I don't know. Some people may be curious about all those things. They left, and I want to conserve my energy for when I get a viewer, or when I can multitask and do the topics while having a conversation. So let's see if I can reach anybody. It's a place where I could be on hold for a little bit, but what's the ground look right here? My shoes, I guess. Doesn't seem to slide there. How's the lighting? Still a little dark, eh? Darker than it actually is. I don't know if that's any good either. If I stand close, it's not bad. Okay, so we got a viewer. Welcome. I can certainly engage back and forth with you. If you're open to doing that, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I kind of want to... Okay. And they left, so... Now that's the other thing, is that I think I've probably got about 4 or 5 new subscribers from the ones I did the other day, because I did like. And one I've even exchanged email contact with. I'm so glad I got the email I got, even though she wasn't super thorough, but the on the tablet all I see is public or with a special link. So, but on the other device I think there's the option to be only subscribers, but why not expand the audience if we can? Still hit and miss, but you know. I wanted to kind of show off the jeans I'm wearing, to be honest, and in this lighting I'm just not sure you're seeing them. But we saw that. So we just get a viewer as I come back here, and I just was going to double up and have a conversation with someone that you can listen into and weigh in on, because I guess, but they left. But for anybody who views this after the fact, I also found somebody whose videos I've been quite enjoying for various reasons. Definitely unique perspectives. And I commented to some people there. He was even making $5 or $10 to $50 from what I saw. I was slightly surprised, but it does say Canadian. But, and I commented on a few of the comments, including some that he commented on, and said feel free to follow me. So, but, I mean, it's just a wider audience, but still, it's no guarantee. No guarantee. I don't know if you can see my jeans in this lighting, but, or if it's low enough. But you can see that they have, they're not new or anything, but they have cool marks. But I'm getting warm already, so I'm going to change out of these. I don't need every single light on. I think. What's this? Messenger. You want to see me in my skivvies? Because I got a viewer. So I'll be right on screen in a moment, but does the viewer that we have, are you someone who is not shy and is not yet? I should also email sent. Technically, whoops, I've been home for about an hour. I want to try and get into some of the topics. See, when I came home, we put our dog away. Upstairs in a little crate cave thing that he enjoys most of the time, so he doesn't get into trouble. And he's still in it. And sometimes, as you may have noticed if you've seen the videos before, he gets a little loud. I can give him a treat stick, but I'd rather just let him finish one he's already started, which might not take him very long. He's already had another small thing. Worst he'd do is maybe get a bit sick, but yeah, I'm not on the phone right now, I'm just waiting. But he hasn't even seemed to have noticed that I got home yet. So I figured I'd do some of this now and see about doing the rest of it. So I apologize for the slow start. It's only been 8 minutes, I guess. But I'm waiting for the viewers because then, you know, it is cool if they stick around for a while, it's true. You know, can't get too annoyed by that, but it's even better if they engage. So, I want to wait till there's some people here to engage with. And if somebody answers on the line to where I'm calling before then it'll be them and you're welcome to join in. But nobody's watching, so. It's not the radio, by the way. Listening to this music is a bit annoying, it's true. So, we just got a viewer. I'm just waiting on hold, taking care of a quick call. But you can see the title, aside from treasures. And, which topic would you like me to start with? They left. I don't want to see the title, I just want to see you for a few seconds. I should have. Last night, I think. Except we would call him Mother. One thing I'll say is that it can be hard not to take things personal when there's an element of the unknown, which some people may say there always is, but certainly sometimes more than others, right? And I'm not just talking about viewership, I'm talking about some other things that I might get into in this video, but yeah. It really is a humongous bag. There's a couple times only. So a few people, but there was a couple times where I actually almost had to step aside to let someone else go past. But I had a parcel, so. The reason why I want to wait on one possible talk to someone is because there's no guarantee that, they could call the pocket dial so I don't hear them, but they hear me. But there's no guarantee that anybody is going to be interactive. And I feel like I'm needing that right now. I feel like I'm needing to bounce my thoughts. I feel like I'm talking really low and kind of raspy. Which isn't intentional, but I don't know if it's because of this or what, or because I don't want the dog to hear me, so semi-consciously I'm telling myself, don't be as, not that I'm always loud and bubbly, but yeah, at this point in time, we got two people, and I just feel like engaging a little bit on some topics that are in the title, but also, I don't know how popular these are in the world, but in our city, we have some people who, in their yard, well, along the front of their yard, have these little mini library things. You can put stuff in it, perhaps, but you can also take stuff from it. Now, I'm not much of a book reader, but we certainly have a collection of books. But sometimes the front covers jump out at me. Same with the network. It's a shared channel. And so I did get some that did, and I didn't have... it was a heavier... Oh, hi! Okay, good enough for me. That you are... Samani or whatever, the guy from India, right? I remember you. I guess you subscribed and got notified, or you just happened upon me again. So happy to have you here. Preferred. I mean, I would hope that guy, I forget the same one, would count it as one call, but you never know for sure. How are you doing tonight, I guess? It is 11:30 here. I just wanted to talk a little bit about my day, about the title. If there's anything in the title that intrigues you for me to start with, feel free. Also, did you get my email out of curiosity? Because I did end up telling Glenn about that thing that was on our porch, on our deck. I had to make sure that he realized that it was clean and it was fine. And neither of us has great sniffers, but I don't believe it has a smell. But yeah, I'm doing okay. I did an errand today. It went pretty smooth. I did do something. Financially, I feel really quite embarrassed. I know we talked about that a little bit yesterday as we have a second person come in, but when you don't have an income coming in, you don't have an income coming in. I mean, that's really what it is, And so it's kind of like I had a little bit of extra money after delivering a parcel, one of those bowls, actually. Now it says nobody's here, but I noticed that the other day where I wish I could remember how to say your name, and I feel awkward calling you, I kind of feel awkward calling you the guy from India, too, but, I mean, you are. But Mira, X-Mira on top, I do kind of remember the X's, but, well, I don't know what to think. You came here so briefly, and yesterday you stayed and talked a lot more, and today it's looking like you maybe aren't. So that's a little odd. Unless you've went to check the email, maybe you can only do one thing at a time on your device. Or what I was saying about that item sounded weird. What may have intrigued you. Just check the email. Okay. Well, don't worry about reading it now and having to try and catch up to both. I think if I leave, no, even if I leave the menu open, I still have to press the screen. But you're only just seeing it now, so that's fine. I'm trying not to be too loud. We do have the dog upstairs, and you know yesterday how he was, and he doesn't even know I'm home yet, actually. But I just wanted to do a quick video about some things that I picked up today. You kind of missed the introduction to that, but that's fine. Kind of some things I've done today. You're welcome to share about your day. But I also, like I say, I made a title, and I did it with some certain thoughts in mind. It's not showing while I do this, but interestingly enough, although I think I brought my phone out to the kitchen, but I can go get it, I didn't... One, it's a decision whether you want to do it. I mean, sometimes if there's not too many people around, or I can make it look like I'm on a phone call, or I'm not doing it loud. In fact, I walked past someone today. I had a mask on. It's nice out, but it's a little bit cool and kind of damp. And they were in my pocket, so I actually put a COVID mask on. And this lady, I almost got transcribed from her, walked past. She almost seemed to be eyeing me up a little bit, like in a from me hot kind of way, to be honest. And I thought she said probably keep warm or something like that as I walked past. And so she was talking about the person she just passed. I mean, I at least wait a little while. But, I mean, I don't talk to myself in public often, but I'm a very audio-visual type of person. And sometimes I am by myself. I mean, I don't even go out that much these days. And so, if I have things on my mind, I'm talking them through to myself. And like I said, I try not to make it super awkward or obvious. But anywho, so I think it's pretty common, even though I wouldn't say I see it very often. But again, these days I don't get out much. And I mean, sure, back in the day I used to get out more. But anywho, so I went and delivered a parcel. With some of that money, I got myself a cheap sandwich. I have a new favorite sandwich from a bakery nearby, but it was a little bit further past home. And they actually had a salami one I've never seen before. The other place was like half the price. But I used some of the money that Glenn gave to send the parcel. But I kind of feel like he'll be happy because that was cheap. And because I think he kind of maybe realized I was going to do that, and then also because we are a bit picky as far as food goes, and so it's not all we eat, but we eat a lot of pasta, almost to the point where we both we can tolerate doing so. But to the point where we both kind of get a little sick of it. So I think it's understandable. You know what, I'm going to just say, maybe your internet dropped, or it does seem like for whatever reason, and I get it, because sometimes it's just how it is, but it does seem like either the indicator's being wonky, or you have a device where it doesn't multitask easily, and you maybe just quickly checking other things here and there. So, but you're here, you're engaging, you're enjoying, so I'm happy. I don't know if I'm going to do music in this one, but yeah, so anyway, but I felt bad because it was like just a few dollars, that aside from the change from the delivery, which actually was exact, minus a couple of dollars, when you kind of added in, it seems like really cheap for the taxes or whatever, so it was exactly right, and there's a receipt with a tracking number, which I could actually send to the customer, then he doesn't even have to see the receipt. And I need to let them both know that it was sent. But, yeah. Applications, apps, yeah. Anywho, but how has your day been, by the way? Hopefully you can multitask and listen to me as I do that. Yeah, so other than that, I guess if I'm thinking sequential, and this kind of is what inspired the title, although I more so came up with it on the way back, I thought, maybe I'll do a YouTube video. And I thought, if the dog's noisy, or if like, you'd be okay, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I know it's a little bit late there and it's a weekday, but it's pretty close to the time it was yesterday, maybe an hour or two later, but whatever. If I did go up and get the dog, but you know what, he's being quiet up there. I don't want him to be distracting me, so I'm kind of okay just leaving him there for now. But, and I'll catch up to, actually, interestingly, it seems like it's fixed. It seems like the comments reappeared. They don't show afterwards for some reason, and they just kind of showed up twice for a moment there, but they reappear without me touching the screen. And I didn't process it, so just a moment here. Nothing much. Results of my previous exam came out today. And how were they? You didn't say. So you have a lot of exams right now, right? But anyway, so and what in particularly? Yeah, I still actually don't like multiple choice. But yeah, so basically, so I felt a little bit bad, but I knew that was gonna be the case, and she'd said it was $5 for ones with a sticker. I wasn't seeing any with a sticker, so it was $7. But she actually gave me like $1 off. She luckily didn't see the tuna I had in my hand, so I gave her some. Put the other one back because I knew I had to give them back some. But we have something coming up on the weekend. I don't know if it was. I did 2 videos yesterday. In fact, I did 3, and one was mostly music. But later in the night, I did one. And I'm not sure if the one you saw was the one where I was talking about a photography event coming up or not. But basically, and yeah, I'm so geared to that kind of stuff. I think we're going to have to possibly use the bus for the whole thing. So I had some tickets and I had some change, but I think I can still manage to give them $2 or $3 because I have enough tickets for my 2 ways, my way there and back, and one of our ways back. So I should be able to give them not the full amount, and I'm almost tempted to get this actually, if I can figure out how to do it. But out of 100, okay. Yeah, interestingly. What were we talking about, me and Glenn, the other day? And we said, Nirvana, the state of Nirvana. And we said, yeah, that's very Buddhist. I says, well, he'd be most likely Hindi or maybe both. In fact, we live near a church that the pastor, preacher, whatever you call him, is actually from India. He hasn't been here super long. Well, about 3 years, 4 years now. And it's a Catholic church. So, lucky us. Just kidding. So, not that we go there, but so I guess he's Hindi Catholic. One of the viewers left. I'm guessing it wasn't you. They probably thought, this is about religion. That's not what the title said. But the title is just a very rough outline, right? So basically, and one of the things that, and yeah, you can get to my email later. I look forward to hearing from you. I did get even though it wasn't super thorough, I did get got an email with the response that even though it's a little bit of a wait, wasn't a wait for the email, and it's not that long of a wait for the next step, that I'm happy to have received. We could talk about that, perhaps. But basically, and then you, at the end of the school year, hello, welcome, second viewer. I don't know I said that in such a funny way, but anyway. But yeah, so basically, I'm going to cover one of the things in the title now. And I do feel a little bit bad if the dog knows that I'm here and got back home and he's upstairs and I'm ignoring him, but whatever. Funny, I put a yellow smiley in... what's the difference between what you typed and what I typed? I'm also just wondering... Oh, okay, I just found out a new menu. I could add you as a moderator to my channel. I could if you wanted to. I could also put you in a timeout. No, just kidding. But no, I won't do that though. It's just I clicked something. I was like, oh, and it looks like there's a few more options here. Anyway, yeah, I don't see a difference there. But okay, so that's the one that you're asking about. And like I said, this can be part 1. So some of these, could be looked at from so many different angles. But what I'm thinking about is. So, as you know, we're musicians, right? And we don't do bars, and we don't drive, so we can't get out of the city very much and that. So, the occasional special event, honestly, mostly online. So, like I say, if we can ever make donations from our performances, that's great, because, one income in this house. And yeah, we got to make the most of our talents. But, so we do seniors' homes. We've done a few seniors' homes. I've done it with a big group that I'm no longer a part of. And come to think of it, there has been a slight pattern in my life over the past number of years, but there's also very much not been with things that I've been involved in. But and some of it has been my own choice, some of it not. And I certainly am not a dramatic person that goes into places trying to be difficult or get banned. Honestly, what it is, though, is, yeah, you can't please everybody, or some people are... Like I'm thinking of that, also thinking of that channel I was talking about the other day, the Greeters Guild, and how he'll stand up front of businesses and give people compliments and say funny things. Sometimes he goes a little bit far, and even if humans are kind of creatures, I don't think he should call them that. But and sometimes management comes out and but then he often says that he's been asked to be there by, I'm just gonna put a bit of blanket on, by something Mobley or whatever the name is. And one time, the one I watched yesterday, actually, somebody said they were familiar with who that was. There was one guy I also thought was going to be uptight, but wasn't. There was another guy that took out his phone, stood kind of either between or in front of him and the business, and I think he was manager, and was looking him up and this and that. And one of the comments said, "How dare he do this in front of his own business?" As if they didn't realize that that's what he was doing. And I don't think we saw the end result of that for some reason, from what I recall. But the more personal example is, so, well, I'm thinking of a food bank. I'm thinking of, what else kind of? I'm thinking of, not really Seneca, but sort of, a group I chose to stop going to. But then also, and I walked past that place twice today where I was going, but 2, possibly 3 seniors' homes. But to be fair, one I think is right next to the other one, as we suddenly get two more viewers for a total of 3. Welcome, and just come in from where you came in. Two of them are right next to each other, and they do have different names, but I wonder if maybe they spoke to each other. In one of my other videos, fairly recently, so not to sound too repetitive, but you didn't see it. The other viewer, I don't know if you did, and if you did, maybe this is the time to weigh in, but they went. So it's just, I believe it's just Samani, whatever your name is. Anywho, basically, so you didn't hear this the first time, and basically she would not give a reason. She felt she was being direct and clear and therefore kind and polite, and said, "Don't call the building, we don't want to have you back." When I said, "Oh, what is that?" she said something about being very clear and polite, and I said, "In a little bit vague, and please don't call the building." And with that one, at the time I was wearing some old shoes. Maybe they disliked the hat. You may not always be able to tell, but I do have a missing tooth. I need to get the other one done. But yeah, I'd really love to be getting employment. But you know what? Making nice connections lately, especially these days. You got a volunteer thing. There's so many steps for something that's really quite simple. And so things are going fairly well. So as long as however we care to deal with this other one would be covered by our insurance, I say do it. So I want to talk to the dentist herself, though, and they can take that kind of request. But, I did a little bit, but I just want to make sure we talk about our options as we get a second viewer. Welcome. So, yeah, basically, though, what I surmised it could have been, as we get a third, welcome, and just come into it, listening or commenting, just in the spot that you are. Don't worry about what you've missed. And if, anything from the title that you want to say, feel free to put it below. But yeah, basically, we had gotten into, I feel a little bit repetitive because I did say this in another fairly recent video, but 2 of you may have heard it before, 2 of you may not have. I'll do it quickly. We had been 1 year around Christmas, like we don't have a lot of close family. I know I talked about that in a video that one of our viewers saw the other day. And so 1 year, though, we had made a connection, and she's from Russia, but she had been here 16 years. So about as long as I had been in the city at that time. And this was just a few years ago. But one time on Christmas, and I don't remember if it was the same year or a different year, also on New Year's Eve we went there. And she's slightly into puppetry. And she has a little room. with a few puppets. And she had two that apparently she was happy to give us. I don't know if she was storing them for someone who never came back for them or what it was. And actually Glenn noticed them under the piano the other day, a few days ago, and the incident has almost came up a couple of times, but I'm kind of glad it hasn't. I know this is Jared channel, but and I'll watch it back from parts that I feel I want to. Otherwise, he's not very likely to. It's pretty busy and this and that. But basically, I put them under the piano, grand piano, because it's a bit of a trigger. I guess I didn't know where else to put them, but I think aside from the guesses I already put, I've had to make up my own because I haven't gotten an answer about it. And I've not tried again, and I don't think I should. But basically, one of my other guesses was it was over the Christmas holiday. We were going to see about getting a gig in January, but I decided to call and say we'd even be available like Christmas Eve, maybe even Christmas Day. We kept it quiet, simple. Unfortunately, it's a lonely and kind of depressing holiday for us. But you know what? We were saying the other day, because I made the last box of stuff and got a whole bunch of stuff in the one day, and makes pasta more exciting, And I said, all things considered, our holidays weren't bad. Hopefully yours will. Hopefully your January is going well. But yeah, basically, and I wondered if maybe because I didn't wait till January, because if I hadn't reached out to them again, it didn't seem like they were going to tell me. Unless come January, or just hope I didn't call. I don't know. I mean, we're very nice people. We're talented. Me and Glenn. I've held the retention of 2 viewers currently, plus the other one, which is pretty good considering how much there is on YouTube. And I try not to take that personal because there's lots of stuff. But ADHD is real. But if I'm intriguing and keeping your attention, I'm happy about that. And from being impactful. And yeah, basically though, I wondered if it was because I didn't wait till January. But with the puppets, we did that and we did music. And as I said in the other video, Glenn, especially Glenn, once he gets the puppet on his hand, he becomes more goofy. So we had scripted it, the little show that we did with the puppets. I can almost remember the theme. But we practiced a little bit, and they even wanted to see a little video ahead of time, and they were fine with it. And as far as I'm concerned, come to think of it, it wasn't. But we may have done more than one version and sent the best one, or told them to skip ahead or something like that, and just lost one viewer. But because basically, they Was that Samani or whatever your name is, or the other one, out of curiosity? But yeah, so basically, that little preview video that we sent, they said yes. When I think about it, actually, there really wasn't that huge of a difference. It was the same script. The ad-libbing, not entirely intentional, one of the views went, may not have been exactly the same, but the few people that they brought up there, or that happened to be up there, they don't have a lot of volunteers, and the boss is kind of stupid, but she wasn't around, I don't think. Seemed to enjoy it. I don't think we said anything that I think would be inappropriate as we get 2 viewers at once come in. But one thing I did get, and I think Glenn did too, the vibe from the particular person that had hired us to do the gig at this place and do the month, was that she was a little uptight, little serious. And this was for someone who works in the as a recreation facilitator, or an occupational therapist, kind of similar, in a senior's home. And they paid us, and she was all nice and this and that. And then I guess it was what it would have been. When was that? I would say 3 or 4 months afterwards, right? And I called and I had that experience. Many months prior to that, the shoes may have been the same, the hat may have been the same. I had the tooth. We didn't have the puppets, I don't think. We may have still been a little bit goofy and silly because that's our personality. And so basically, there was another senior's home, and this is close to the one that just simply never called back. It was over the holidays, I think. And then I think I tried early January, and maybe the message got missed. Maybe they're understaffed, or maybe the other one talked to this place, because, like I say, they're next door. I don't know. But basically, again, she was not very upfront with it either, but she did it by email, I think. We had been texting too, I can't remember why. And basically, you know, so I wondered if maybe we just didn't seem polished enough, as the viewer goes. But at the same time, if it was simply because we were silly, I almost want to wait till you're back. I'll take a sip. If it was simply because we were being silly, I think it's you that came back, somebody did, then that's why I thought of the title. One example. Well, kind of one example. Like, I am quite a people pleaser. Glenn as well. I think that it's a better way to go through life to try and be nice and to, please people, and all that kind of stuff. There are some people out there, I think, that they just don't care. You either like me or you don't. And you have to be like that a little bit. It's true. And it really doesn't matter what age the person is, people will either feel that or they don't. But some people almost seem to be that way on default. And we aren't one of them. But it seems like maybe a couple of these people that we were dealing with may have been. And so it's kind of like, if it was because simply we were a little bit silly, maybe didn't seem professional. Right, but were we talented? Did the people like us? Were we extremely inappropriate? Yes, no. You know what I mean? As we get a second viewer. And sometimes in the moment, I have a hard time addressing, it bothers me afterwards and I internalize it and blah, 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 blah. And sometimes, truly, sometimes hold grudges, and it's harder when the other person involved or people involved don't try to fix it as well, right? Whatever the situation is. So, and in this case they haven't. And like I say, I just don't want to reach out back to them. But what did happen is when I passed the other two places, or when I passed the one that was side by side to the other two, when I passed by the one where there's two side by side, like I say, I had a parcel with me, but I thought maybe on the way back. But then I was kind of thinking about it here and there while I was walking, and I thought, because I was thinking I could go into the one that I just never simply heard back from and ask why. Because we still would love to do gigs in these places. Like, I'm going to be soon getting involved in volunteering at a place where it might not be only seniors, but primarily seniors. I shouldn't say in a place. It's going to be mostly by phone, yet we still have to do a record check. And it is, just for those that are isolated. And like I say, there's so many steps. It should be just as simple as, okay, we like your skills, blah, 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 blah. Here's some numbers, call them at their scheduled time, whatever. It's very flexible, though. Like, I had a situation at a similar place where, I don't know if there was as many steps or not, but we were probably on, like, the third step. And I went in. They said that they had minimal volunteers, but I don't even think it would have gotten to that point. It was because I'd left a few voicemails. And there was a couple emails. But I was not given the impression that there was a problem with that. And I was just trying to understand some things. And, when I look back at that, like I think I said in one of the other videos, maybe there was a lot. And I think their main concern was, would I be leaving messages for the people, the one that I'm going to get involved in hopefully soon, actually I found out about through the other one, but I don't think they talked. I mean, otherwise it wouldn't be going as well as it's going. It's like but basically, just from the point that you're in, feel free to weigh in, that you tune in. Basically, I couldn't think of what to call them. Client, participant. Honestly, I thought those words were fine. She got back to me as we get third viewer and said that, welcome, and said we call them this. Thanks for asking about that. I said, okay, thanks for the information. Honestly, I don't really feel like it's likely to come up anymore. But, I mean, and I also don't think that my words were wrong. But I'll try and remember what they told me. But they've been thankful for the voicemails, thankful for the emails. If I have any questions, they want to try and support me through it. I don't know what the problem was with the other place. Where it kind of just, I mean, like I said, they worried that was that going to happen with the people that they assigned to me. If it does, two of them went, to the viewers went, if it does, maybe they'd be okay with that. And if they say otherwise, I adjust. Or at least try to. You know? Like, you know, I mean, sure. You know, some people have spiritual abilities and that may include psychic abilities, and I've seen some people that seem to be able to read minds, and if you have good intuition and you know, people person, blah, 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 it doesn't really sometimes matter what other disorders you might have, you know, but at the same time, we shouldn't assume that people can just read our minds. Like, that would just be silly. You know what I mean? So, but, yeah, basically, I'm a little bit thrown off by the fact, but again, he's multitasking, I think, and, you know, and I totally understand. You can be really focused on something, but then your mind's saying other things to you too, and you want to address them. You know, it makes sense. But yeah, so that's basically. I think he kind of understood where it was going with that, though. As far as the one example in the title, like, you know what, like, if they just didn't thought we were too silly or unprofessional. That's how they chose to see it. There may not have been any changing that. Sure, we could change what we do, but we also are who we are. And if it's not a bad thing, yes, it impacts our ability to get the few opportunities that we can get, perhaps. But is that an example of where we should be trying to please them? And once it's gotten to that, can we go back and say, you know, would it work to have a discussion with them and say, and then, but you know, we don't want a false promise either. And say, okay, we won't be as much that way, and then find ourselves doing it in the moment, you know. You got to go where you're accepted and appreciated. Truth be told, that one place, kind of both, although, who knows, they may have been watching it on a video thing or something, because they were streaming it to the rooms, because that one time it was during the pandemic and they were working on an elevator and it was a bit noisy, while we were performing, and so there was nobody in front of us. They were all being streamed to the rooms. And we even did Happy Birthday and that, and it's one of the songs. But the other one, like, she popped in for like 5 minutes or whatever, and maybe she could hear because I think her office was, but I think there was a door. At the bottom of the stairs there was a door, and on the other side of it was her, yeah. I think she only popped in once or twice. What did, you know, did she talk to the residents? You know, like, just thinking about it kind of aggravates me a little bit. I don't know what to do because he's not coming back as quickly now. If it's still rolling, well, that covered the one topic. Decision making, I mean, if there's something you're trying to decide about, maybe comment about it. Nobody's watching at the moment, but comment it and I'll try and help you. Pickyness, what inspired that was kind of the food thing that I said. Again, a lot of these topics could certainly be addressed deeper. But yeah, when I was out and about, well, I'll save that. I don't know. Let me just think for a moment. How that saved music, which doesn't come across very good over the phone. Which is, well, but the one guy who wore the guitar was not at all close to us. And the other ones, and it would have been in person, surprisingly. Like, I'm surprised that they would actually allow that for the safety of people. We got you back, Samani, however you say yourself. The other things we were talking about. I shouldn't look myself very much because that's egotistical. No, I was kidding. Because I don't feel I need to very often. You know, as far as what my hair looks like, I pop on the hat. You know, I'm kind of somewhat hostbound. Anyway, I thought he just came back. I'm not sure what happened there. But, kind of want to do a little bit of show and tell in a moment. So that's not something I could do or would even make sense, even if they do lose the crisis, to call there about. Um, yeah, I think, circled back around to the whole people pleasing topic. People want to weigh in about that. It's already gotten longer than I thought it would. Great. So it's kind of show and tell in music. Um, but that being said, and I wish that maybe he's looking at the email too. I wish that I don't know how to say his name, but the one who's been commenting was still here because I'm trying to decide whether I should approach that place again. Well, he's at least heard the details a little bit. And so, and actually, I can contact him in another way, thankfully, as well. So I can maybe say to him, so about that place I just simply never heard back from, should I, in person, something to go out and do on a nice day, to beat boredom, get some fresh air, but would it be best to do it in person? I mean, you're more, potentially could be judged more, rightly or wrongly. Or some other way, try and find out, why I didn't hear back and let them know that we're still interested. I think if I do that, though, be prepared. I'm thinking of the Lion King song now, that, it could go either way. But that's the thing, is it could go either way. Possibly good. Make it an example of it may not have been personal, So, I keep feeling like I'm saying your name wrong, but I feel weird calling you your YouTube name, or mine for that matter. But we did just get a viewer tune in. I'm not sure if it's, but they left. And I don't know if he's having issues with his device. Multitasking, I wouldn't think he'd come back, just come back for a few seconds. So I think it's somebody else. I'm not sure what happened. I know it's getting a bit late there, and it is a weekday. But yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on there. But now that I'm over here, I'm feeling like the dog will probably... I could just say I'm distracted and not talk to them very long, let them know that I sent it. And then if he comes back and wants to engage more, maybe while I'm briefly away, he'll put some comments for me to see when I get back. Because if I keep rolling, then, I think he'll be able to tell that. I'd be tempted to put the radio on, maybe. Oh, we got a viewer. Not sure if it's my friend from India or somebody else. Oh, we got two more. So just a quick moment. I'm just making a very, very quick call. Two of them left. I'm assuming it's the guy from India that's still there. Hi, how's it going? Okay, well, just letting you know that the package has been sent. Okay, cool. Talk to you later. Yeah, about 30. Okay, we'll talk to you later. I'm doing a YouTube video too, so. Okay. Yeah, so basically, who do we got? Okay, and then they left. That, unless it's some sort of unintentional bad Wi-Fi, because even ours has been dropping a little bit lately, which is weird, because it mostly works. But a couple times in the past few days, once I think this morning, but then right away reconnected. So I don't know, it could just be a tech issue, it may just be he's not come back. But again, when I think about it, now that I've covered what I've covered, even though he hasn't said anything on it, he's heard it at least, and I can reach back out to him either here or the other way and ask for some opinions, ask for some thoughts. I prefer that, like Ben said, just in general, than tell him into offline. Because I don't want to hate Simon. But said no, we have to count this as a second call. And then what if I happen to need one tonight? But that was the like one, I guess that's all. Would you like one? All this for a little while here, nobody's been here. I'm very tempted to go upstairs. I did get the one email back that I was expecting to. I probably am. Well, heck, maybe my friend from India has emailed me. But if not, because somebody did just tune in, if it's you or even if it's not you, but if it is you, but you left, but whatever. I was just gonna say, don't worry about replying to that now. Although maybe you've looked at it a little bit and you're curious and you're like, I want to try multitask, but clearly your device doesn't seem to be able to do that. But yeah, so when I was out and about, I didn't have Wi-Fi connection, and even if I had, and I didn't have a device that could just have data turned on. But even if I had, would I wanted to have done this in public? I don't know. But basically, so I typed the title idea, and I didn't realize that I typed it kind of funny. It says Dev 8 Dion, Rip Marianne, making people leading being, Domwa 5, P8 for Kiki, and then hashtags. A little bit jumbled. But, and that's something I wanted to ask about, actually. I know that I saw somebody on this other channel I started following the other night and commented on, and somebody was getting some donations too. Somebody said, oh, we make these great titles, but, still don't get any action. It was him and his partner, or his daughter maybe, or he was already, and I can't remember, there was something kind of turned me off the channel, but I was kind of intrigued. But basically, I see a lot of people using hashtags. Sometimes I think a little bit much. But I'm wondering, do hashtags help, as far as like, and actually, my friend from India, do you upload on your channel? Maybe I'll just click and look later, or you can just answer. But I never search for things that way. But it's like a hashtag. It's like a handle, right? Does it make people kind of? Does it help like your video get noticed? I'm just curious. I mean, I'm just not one that uses them, so I'm not really sure. But yeah, so if there's anything else from the title, or another topic, or a song request that either of our two viewers have, feel free to put it in the comments. Otherwise, if you didn't hear earlier, I was mentioning how while I was out in our city, there are some yards that at the front of their yard, in fact, I kind of know someone who has one, mixed feelings about that individual at this point in time. But they have these they look like a house. One of them was bright pink. I took a quick look, but again, I'm not much of a book reader. It was weird though, because I was making a note about looking to see how much transit costs, because I just do everything by foot mostly, or bike when it's biking, when when it's not winter or whatever, or digitally, but I'm going to need to probably bus to something soon, so I was typing a reminder to myself. I look across the street, there's a girl in a bus shack with blue hair that's truly I haven't seen since November, so maybe it was the person I thought it was, and she gained a few pounds over the holidays, who knows, she wasn't, super huge, and I'm not trying to be mean, but it's funny because the person who I'm in contact with about this upcoming event, which is why I need to bus, also has blue hair, although it's blue braids and she's black. But yeah, so so I thought that was kind of a funny coincidence. So we have a second viewer, and I don't know where this random glove came from, but anyway, I know I just took a couple gloves out of my bag. But yeah, so I got some books. They just spoke to me. There was also something about Deborah, or whatever, but I took from the bottom, the second row. And like I said, I didn't even take from. But so I'm curious if either of you may have read these books, what you might think of them. A part of me thinks, and there was somebody doing something at a car, like they got out of the car or whatever, and they were just kind of around the car, across the street from me. But I could have easily just taken pictures of them, in the front of them, and then left them there, because whether I actually read these, and Marketplace, I keep intending to try doing Marketplace more, or Kijiji might be better. In fact, accidentally sometimes on Facebook, I sometimes click into Marketplace, and I see one particular type of thing most. I also see some very big items, like I think I saw a house once, boat, but But some small items, it's very depressing, but I'm doing the best I can. It's kind of like, I can't even afford those. And there's a little bit of also something slightly awkward kind of connected to, and yeah, I often see it because I only have Facebook on the device I don't have Messenger on. So if the name's not unique enough to search it in my Messenger, which is kind of like anybody have two options like that, then I can't contact the person. I did contact one. I haven't heard anything back. But yeah, so whether it's our friend from India, and I know I've been saying a lot here, but you haven't said anything in a while. But I'm thinking that's who's here. Whoever's here, feel free to comment. Don't be shy. So yeah, topic ideas, anything else about the title, you guys like your song requests. I feel slightly energized, and this video is doing, like I say, there's so much on YouTube and this and that, HD this and that. But, all things considered, this video is doing fairly well. So I'm feeling energized. I actually am not feeling all that tired from being out and about earlier. And, I was shifting the parcel from one side to the other, so, I'm not super stiff. I'm a little bit sore. Feel like I'm more sore sitting the way I'm sitting now, but I can adjust that. But whether he knows I'm home or not, I really should go get the dog from upstairs, let him come down here. I have to do something else very quickly. And there's a part of me that's tempted to do my emails too, but I could keep it rolling and multitask so that it, but yeah, because part of me wants to keep it rolling. We're getting close to an hour, but I wouldn't do them any longer than 2 hours. But if it's going well and somebody keeps coming in, I don't know if it's my friend from India or who, or if it's the same person every time, but it keeps flashing of one viewer or two and sometimes three. I don't know if I've seen 4 in this one yet, all at once, but right now 0 suddenly. And I'm thinking he's not going to play head games with me if that's what somebody's doing. So I'm thinking, I don't know, it might not be my friend from India. And if it is, legitimate reasons for it. Maybe not wanting me to think he's watching when he's not at a particular time. But yes, so I need a pulling thread. Definitely now the dog would probably know that I'm home. And then I gotta put in some laundry, but no huge rush, but I should do that. Yeah, I'm gonna make that sandwich, even though it wasn't huge, and it's really just one cut in half, a big one cut in half and stacked on top of each other. I'm gonna try and make that be 2 meals. I might still have pasta anyway, because I am still a little bit hungry actually. But so I'm just gonna quickly go upstairs, get the dog, make a quick pit stop. Would you know what I meant if I said NC? Because it feels, not that it should feel awkward, but it feels a little bit less awkward than saying it out fully. And then I'll come back and we'll either look at these books or do music. If there's, desire. And then look at how big this bag is, but it was handy for the parcel. And then, yeah, like I say, he's definitely going to figure I'm here. And I don't want to make him feel like I'm ignoring him, So, because I think we all know what that feels like sometimes. And I had the reminders to do that other stuff. So, I'll be right back on anything that, if the viewer's who I think it is, or someone who was already previously here that just tuned into that. Yeah, so, but already back. Or somebody's here. Anyway, title, any other topic, any other song. The only kind of music idea I kind of have, I did look into some Pink songs I didn't know the other day, but it's Simon and Garfunkel, but I'm open to others. But yeah, unfortunately, the person who suggested Nirvana, I'm not sure if he's here at the moment, the friend, but, there's 2 of you now. Welcome. I don't think that, but do they do the da-da-da-da, entertain us? Like, it's kind of whiny, but it's kind of fun to sing. Like, it shows that you can sing with kind of like grunge and power. But yeah, but no, I feel like I'm ignoring the dog, and I should go get him, do what I need to do upstairs. And whether we have viewers or not, like, because I say I can multitask, there's a part of me that thinks to check my emails. Wait, to put that there. It's not another go anymore. And then, we'll do a bit of show and tell and possibly some music. Because I'm feeling, I slept well, I usually do. But I'm feeling amazingly energized. It's a little bit awkward of a feeling that either somebody keeps coming and going really quickly, or more than one person, and the one that maybe is wanting to be here and engage may or may not be having technical difficulties. But hello, you good little boy, hey? Maybe I should have been first, but yeah, you're so good. I'm not going right down there. I didn't leave anything too much on the floor that you can get into. Oops, that's not a good place to put that. Oh. Oh. I guess I didn't have that plugged in while I was gone, so it's at like 60-something%. I can't remember where I put that receipt. But yeah, that is kind of cool though. It seems like, well, not entirely, but that comments, when a new comment comes in, they show them all up again and then they fade, and without having to press the screen. But it is seeming a little bit hit and miss. So at least, as long as pressing the screen works. But yeah, I don't know whether to do any more with this video or not. Kind of curious what other cool greatness might transpire. Like I said, not hugely rushed to do laundry. I want to have it done for, so I have 2 calls tomorrow, video calls. Okay, this computer's just being wonky anyway and doesn't want to let me onto the, it's not usually so slow with this stage or in general. And then nothing until Saturday, but it doesn't really matter if I'm in super clean clothes or not tomorrow. The rest of the week. So yeah, well, I can look at it here. I did notice that to make connection with the guy. I went to my promotion tab and it was showing things with some letters missing in the title, but it for a while actually, but then it fixed. So, well, I don't know what the heck's going on with this. I'm actually kind of surprised that in about 2 or 3 hours that it didn't go into the way where I have to press the power button to get it back on, but it's just showing me a black pointer. So I don't know. As soon as I walk away, it'll probably behave. I was just for a moment there reminded of that idea I got a while ago, but one person is here at the moment, of using, there's a guy carrying a bag that's quite low and kind of has an interesting walk, but of the idea of making up a song based on what I see out the window. And we do live in a fairly active corner. So far I haven't done much with it except from those 1 or 2 initial videos, but it's an idea, perhaps. Or by what you see out the window and then what you tell me. As long as there's nothing too graphic or disturbing. Unlike this. Hey, Sonny. Yeah, you're a good little boy, aren't you? Now he might nip, but he's being very good. It's just because I'm trying to get the eye gunk out, hey? Oh, you're so good. You're so good, hey? Yeah. Part of me wants to finish what I set out to do, but then that would be the second video. I did decide though, what was it I said? This is the third thing that we're on, third two, and second thing there, which means third is the next number, which means 6 plus 7 is lucky. Okay. And I did say whether I have that thing that I found on our porch with me when I'm out or not, it's still, it's still now something that I guess I feel is kind of part of me. I'm going to do some multitask for a moment here. That was actually being very good. He came to the couch, he's being good. I just want to multitask for a moment here. Guess I can put that much ahead of time. Okay, so in the channel that I followed the other day, he was showing some books that he had that actually seemed, I don't remember what they were, but they seemed kind of intriguing. And so I think I'm going to do that now. Now Sonny wants to be noisy, so that might be all I do, but if I do some music, he'd probably calm down. But I don't know what's going on, like my friend from India has been in here, and then he's kind of left abruptly, and then it's been kind of flashing between 1, 2, and occasionally 3 at the top for a while. So you're like, oh wait, he's doing a podcast, he's not just talking to himself, but then I actually get the rest of my treat. It's a little bit rough and it's not huge, but okay. But yeah, that would be the second video then, unless I do it in this one. Where's my phone? If there's people here and they'd like to hear some music, I'll do it. Otherwise, I won't. But yeah, so I didn't know if I could show books, but you know what? It's advertising their book, which just like a song, shouldn't be bad because it means that more people might be interested. Things was cutting the fan. So this one I got mostly because, there's actually not that much red on it. It's called Red Heron, The Red Heron. And there is somebody that I know, she's also worked for the Muppets, from another show, who, I don't know if she still does, but she has a puppet company that sounds kind of like that, like a name for a company. And I called her not long ago because I Googled and somehow found her number on Google. I don't know if it was a work phone or a personal phone. It was a couple of weeks ago, so mid-January. Again, maybe not to take it personal. I mean, she might have been sick. She might not do this anymore. Be nice if she told me, so I'm not wondering. But I sometimes think some people don't realize the impact of someone wondering or waiting to hear back, But, but yeah, so basically, and I might still. That's another one, just like that one senior's home that I just simply never heard back from. That was next to the other one. It's kind of like, should I inquire further? Should I try again? I think that she'd be a really interesting guest to have on the podcast. So I have bad teeth, so this one's right out of the fridge, and I'm adding it to one that's been out for a while. It was outside with me too, but yeah, it's like, I think she could be a very interesting guest, and it'd be a lot of fun. I could almost see it being a 2-video type of thing, and she might be doing quite well for herself. This is a weird one. It's called Life Lessons from Obituaries. I don't know, just kind of spoke to me, kind of unique. This is holiday puzzles, and it's not Christmas anymore. It doesn't look like any of them were ever done, which is really weird. Like different kind of games. So that one although it's not really Christmas anymore, but I might look at that. This one's actually a bit of a funny story, just my luck sometimes. If what's his face heard, he's going to say, first rabbit foot, then all this other stuff you've been talking about, then this, seriously? I mean, I do have good stuff happen too, but lately, not a ton of it. But, I mean, I don't know. Part of it is trying to be successful, trying to get things, get opportunities and this and that. You know, I try and put myself out there a lot, but then the truth is that then there's one more to wait for, and two more potential of rejection. Um, I found out on Facebook about some event or some place, Northwest Territories, not where we live, some sort of center, and I thought they might like to have a performance, and I inquired, and they were interested. But I guess they get a lot of moose there, not to talk too much about animals, and certainly not about hunting, please. But they get a lot of moose there, and I think what happens is they tend to walk on top of cars and crash. I mean, their foot is only so, but they have four of them, right? Or maybe they lay on them. I don't know. Point of the matter is I don't think it was the person I was talking to, but it was kind of one of the people involved in making it happen. I can't believe this had happened, and I also can't believe that Glenn had forgotten. Because how could you? But basically, she had been in an accident involving a moose, and I believe died, from what I recall hearing. That part I can't quite remember, but I mean, otherwise I think we would have done the gig. And I seem to remember that and thinking, wow. So a bit of a trigger because we didn't get the gig and because of a damn moose, like seriously, And if you missed that, if you didn't catch that because you just came back in or just tuned in, we are at the 111, well, you left, so whatever. But anyway, making the moose out of life as opposed to the most. And it looks like a little kid's book, and I'm tempted to read it, but I don't know how that kind of thing works. Maybe I'll do it. There's also a couple little, mazes and little games at the back. I don't know how that works on YouTube. If we can do that, if we say the author's name, and I read it wrong the first time actually. Like that one guy, he was just quickly saying, "This is a good book," but he wasn't. And I mean, the author's name was probably on the front. I didn't process it, but it was very quick. But as far as reading books online, that's another, on YouTube, that's another idea. Like, I've always thought audiobooks, I miss story time. It's something I might like to do at libraries or whatever. I don't know, it's an idea. But are we allowed to do it on YouTube? That's what I'm not sure. If so, I'd probably start with that one because it's short. I don't know if this one's worth mentioning anything about. And this one's just got a funny title. It's not even in English. Although I think... Oh, okay. But it's at Cedric. That's just funny all around. But possibly inappropriate. Especially since, like one time I had a 12-year-old watching, even though I'd marked it as not for kids because, like I said, it depends on what device you do it on, what options it shows you, but it's kind of like, non-specific. I mean, maybe. I mean, I don't have it scripted, and I sometimes have no filter, but I think most of the content would probably be okay. We had a second, now it's 3 viewers, but it's kind of like, it's kind of, do we have any authors watching by any chance out of the two of you? I actually been meaning to get back into one of my writing projects, but I guess it does have a beginning. You could say it has a middle, but it feels like I've mostly just been doing scene work with it, and I haven't looked at it a lot lately. I started it maybe in September, October, and I haven't looked at it for like 2 months or whatever, or at least a month. I'm also thinking about this open mic. You only get 3 minutes on the mic. It feels hardly worth going. And the title of the event is kind of odd. But you could meet some people. I don't know. And I don't think I've missed it, but it's kind of nearby. But I can't remember what I was saying now. Out of the two of you, or both of you, would you like to hear some music? Do you have a song request? Would you like it to be Simon and Garfunkel? Yeah, just wondering. No, it's just wondering. Because I don't know what else to say. as far as the topics of the title. Like I say, in one of my other videos, and kind of in this one, some of the things I'm trying to decide about, I covered decision making. As far as part one is concerned, I covered people pleasing. What was the other one? Pickyness. I mentioned what made me think to say that. But I mean, again, so if you give, the only thing I can suggest is if you subscribe to this channel, then as we get a second for you to tune in, if you subscribe to this channel, if any of the topics in the title, and that could be why you clicked in, or maybe it's because of my beautiful face. No, I mean, either way, that you can see part two when I post it, and any other videos I post. But yeah, as far as right now, today, as we get a third viewer, I'm not sure on the topics in the title what else necessarily to say it goes down to. So, yes, let me know either by staying and commenting. I was going to say staying or commenting, but you both went, so I don't know. There's part of me wants to do music, there's part of me that doesn't. And I also don't know. It feels a little bit early for the sun to be coming more strongly through this window, but it almost feels like it is. And so I don't know if it be. I noticed the other day when I watched back one of my videos, when I was moving, the sun that was behind me kept kind of glaring to the screen. It kind of looks cool sometimes. In fact, the guy I just started following on here the other day was a couple of his videos because he does them outside sometimes. But I think it was one I was watching this morning where he was inside. I noticed, and it happens, So welcome to the one of you that's here now. I do need to just slow down, take a bit of a breather. But yeah, other than, having done and I wouldn't mind doing it in the same podcast. For one particular reason. Otherwise, I'd say I got lots of time, and later tonight might be better because then Glenn's home, and whether he joins what I do or adds to it afterwards, like the one last night, that's cool. But I don't know if I should maybe share why specifically. Is it Samani, the guy from India? Are you here? And if so, can you try and put in a comment what's going on? Because you seem to come and go a lot, unless it's somebody else. But the other day that didn't seem to be happening, and I know you seem interested in the videos, so and aren't that shy. But yeah, either way, the reason why I kind of want to do it in this one, although it might not have been in. Well, I did a Simon and Garfunkel song last night. Technically, it would have been a different week. I can't remember if it was Sunday. Some people say that's the start of a week. But there was a song, Sound of Silence, that Glenn was playing around on the flute with. But I don't know if that was in a video. And again, I don't know if that was this week. It's only Tuesday. Yeah, it's Tuesday, and I saw the bin truck. So if it wasn't yesterday, and I don't think it was, then unless we count Sunday as the start of the week, as some people do, then it's fine. But basically, I sometimes have a very good memory for some things I would rather not remember, some things I would like to, and sometimes it's neutral. But I have a very good memory sometimes for. I don't have I think they call it Adonic memory, where you can remember, or supposedly remember, exact time, date, place, such. But I do remember sometimes. And I don't think this is that weird, but maybe certain examples of it would be. But one I'm thinking of is when I found out about a fairly popular version of the song Sounds of Silence and heard it. I remember who told it to me. I remember kind of who else was with us. I remember where we were. And where we were, there have been a few examples of it lately. But in my past, less so. It's just kind of, sometimes you're just not meant to stay involved in a certain place or around certain people, indefinitely or forever. But this one particular place, I don't know how to say it because let's just say I know for sure it wasn't my fault. Somebody else agreed that it wasn't, that was involved there, who had some interactions with some of the people. But decided it was in the best interest. Some people were overreacting to a couple things or whatever. uh, that, like I say, weren't necessarily personal, but I may have reminded somebody of somebody or something like that. Point of the matter is I don't go there anymore. And although that lady that I was talking about that I saw in the bus jack, and there's candy in a bag and nobody around it, was from that place. That girl. But I didn't get a close look at her. But basically, yeah, it's kind of like. Oh, right, this is the one I want to be drinking. This one behind me. Should be finishing. Those other ones first, but whatever. It says nobody's watching at the moment, and I feel like I do need to slow down. It's amazing I had this much energy though since the errands, but nobody's watching at the moment, so I kind of just want to wait till it says that somebody's back, and it will either be my friend, and I'm hoping that if for some reason it's really skippy or whatever for them at the moment, if they decide to watch it back later, it'll be fine. It seemed like it was during the beginning. How's the audio quality in this? I don't see why it would be any different. But yes, I will have to charge this soon, but 49%. But basically, something I do to comfort my mind. I can't say the track record or whether how often this works or whatever. And sometimes I tell myself, well, you know, that's just what you do. It doesn't necessarily guarantee a certain outcome. But, and I'm sure with OCD, this is pretty popular. My OCD isn't quite as bad as it used to be, maybe, but basically, it's like, first anxious thought connected to something, yes, it'll be bad. Second one, no. Third one, yes. But then sometimes, and so on. I usually don't get too high in the numbers, but every now and then it'll be kind of like, well, but the next one would be yes or no, and which one do I want? Obviously, I think usually I want it to be a no. Like, I don't want what I'm anxious about to be, a problem. So I associate that one song that is originally Simon and Garfunkel, and I got the idea last night I did one, so that was this week. The other one, again, if it was a Sunday, depends who you ask. If it wasn't, then whatever. And then I'm thinking today, but I don't know how many songs I do. And I think what I'm really attaching it to is this event on Saturday. I'm worried, is it going to go smoothly? For some reason, my brain is attaching it to all connecting it. When you were young, everybody here is watching you. Hoping you were someone you used to know. Look like a movie, sing like a song. My God, it reminds me of when we were young. When you were young, did you used to do the connect the dots little puzzles? I have one somewhere actually that I came across. I don't know where the heck I got it. It's probably been in a bag that I stowed away somewhere for a long time. But I sent it to a therapist once, but we kind of veered into other topics and never really came back to this. I think she thought, yeah, interesting. Yeah, she remembers those. But I think it's just a natural way of the brain, somewhat too. But I wonder if having done so many of those, I wonder if I get stuck so often because I always struggled doing mazes. No, I should be better at them. But I saw a weird one where if you went like this and this, you came out just fine. But they said there's the easy way. But, I don't know why other ways would have, why not? If you can. But I do wonder if doing those, for most of us, has affected the way our brain kind of connects things. Because I know I'm not the only one that does this. Rightly or wrongly, and, yeah, depends, I guess. Anyway, the dog's being so good, but he looks like he wants to make noise, hey? You look like you want to make noise. So speaking of making noise, not that talking isn't doing that, whoever we have watching now, there's one of you at the moment. Sonny's already singing. Okay, now there's none of you. I don't know. Part of me thinks keep this under 2 hours. I don't know if it's something going. I mean, this seems to be working, but yeah, this. I mean, in a way, somewhat that's normal, which is annoying. But my friend from India, he's usually pretty engaging, and I appreciate that. The so far lately, otherwise, what we've been getting is mostly likes, but I don't know. I'm tempted to, but then I don't know if it's gonna throw off my count. You know what I mean? But I know some people might just say, just do it. One, I'm not sure if I'm up to it. Two, this other thing you're telling me. And three, I don't really want to if nobody's here. But one thing I do want to keep testing is, do people stay longer and react more when it's music or not? Because, I mean, I think I say a lot of interesting, wise things, and I'm sure that some people agree. But I wonder if music, they say it's a universal language, and sometimes people don't. But you know what? As much as it's healing and this and that, there are going to be people that are triggered by certain songs, and I can't know that if I don't know the person. All I can say is I apologize, and you know, basically, um, my rate of reasons are some may not stick around or comment, but three things are great when you post on YouTube. I've discovered since doing it, and anything otherwise than this, other than kindness and good comments, or liking, has no place on our channel or anybody else's. For the most part, I would say. But one thing I will say is that when somebody sticks around for a while, cool. When they like and thumbs up, cool. When they comment, they get the most points, bonus points. What's this that's on the top here? It's an advertisement. But I am somewhat tempted to at least do one. I don't know. Because if I didn't do it now, I might be tempted to do it later today. So might as well try and do one now, right? So, first question is, and I know this may sound weird, but you always do, no just kidding. Sonny, please. And they left, so whatever. Sonny, please. I know, you're mostly being good. Don't mind the dog noisy in the background. He'll settle down. I'm going to wrap up soon. But we have one viewer at the top, and my question for you is this. Again, sorry about the dog. And the reason why I say this may sound weird, it's a two-part question, is because it could potentially be the one that's been commenting so far who's from India, and the viewer left. All I'm trying to get around to saying, though, in case people are wondering, what was he getting at there? There are certain musicians, bands, whatever, and I don't know, I don't think they're still a band, this group, these two, that, although popular, may not be in certain countries. And so, if it was him, he might not have known who it was. That being said, I suppose, does it matter? He might still enjoy the song. But that's an odd title, so I'm gonna not do it. Got close to doing it though, but I might do other music later tonight. We'll see. So if you have any requests, not that anybody's currently watching. Actually, two people just tuned in. So I don't know what to do. But you're welcome to stay. I'm just trying to decide if I want to do a song, and if so, what song. But you both left, so whatever. I don't know what that's about, but anyway. So yeah, but anybody who watches this back later and might still be watching or skipped ahead and is still watching, if you have any song request or topic request, whether it's based on the title or otherwise for the next video, do feel free to let us know, and one or both of us will do it sometime soon. Okay, bye-bye.